Hey, what's up, guys? Boxing with B.
Hey, well, without the paycheck.
All right, so if you tuned in yesterday, you saw that on DAZN. Earlier, there was fights in Russia. Let's just touch on that really quick. Peter Beef stepped into the ring against Denis. Forgive me. I always say the names wrong. But Peter Beef came out with that victory, but not without a war, right?
The other kid came to fight. They were both protecting, but you could tell that the champ was giving him a little bit more to chew.
Yeah. He stopped it later in the rounds, but you know what? He got that win. They stepped in. They threw in the towel.
They dropped him in once he fell.
Yeah.
The corner knew that he was done.
They looked out for him. So that was good. Later on, well, actually, first off, now we're looking forward to Joe Smith Jr. coming out with the same victory so we can see that matchup.
Yeah, that'll be for the unification belts of the IBF, the WBA, and the WBC.
That'll be good. So after that, later on in the evening, Dallas, Texas, was it?
Yes.
Yeah, Dallas, Texas.
No. It wasn't Dallas, Texas.
All right. Well, it was Texas.
Yeah.
Whatever. It was Texas, guys. So in Texas, we had the other DAZN fights, and there was Golden Boy. It was, so first off, starting off, I want to talk about Lopez versus Lopez.
And a little questionnaire there. I think the first ones were on Top Rank. Top Rank Boxing.
What?
It was on Top Rank, not DAZN. The ones from Russia.
So first off, I want to start off with Lopez versus Lopez. Now, Jairo Lopez from Mexico, Marcelino Lopez from Argentina. He was not supposed to be in this bout. It was supposed to be Jairo versus another guy, obviously. But then he got a week notice.
Something had happened with the fighter that one of the Lopez was going to see.
Yeah, so a week notice, and then Marcelino Lopez was called. He took that fight. Who does he have in his corner? Joel Diaz.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean that he was in the ring all the time. So when they showed him, he's built.
He was in perfect physique. He looked like a little Ivan Drago, all muscle.
He has a built, what is it called? Physique. And then, they mentioned that on DAZN. Like, wow, he looks ready. It's like, not that I don't really know him. I hadn't seen him before. So for DAZN to say that, I was kind of like, that doesn't mean anything yet. So I tweeted that, my Twitter peeps replied. They're like, yeah, I agree. That means nothing in boxing. You never know. Just because they're all buff doesn't mean that they're going to go out there and do something.
Well, they were just giving him shit, saying how this guy's so built when he's not even
he's like 34 years old.
He's not even ready for he hasn't been training for a fight.
Yeah.
But they said that he told them he's always training, and they all, well, you lift a lot of weights. He goes, I don't lift weights. This is all natural weights and everything, and because I stay active in the gym.
Yeah. So after that, he steps into the ring and he puts on a war.
He puts on a show with the jab. When this kid was hitting him with the jab, all his jabs were power jabs.
And you had said it's like a little Golovkin.
Yep, because he went after him.
He was going in there, and man, that jab was so stiff and so effective. Not stiff as in like a bad way. It's stiff as in like
was just
when you threw it out there,
his head going back, like, oh crap, what is this?
And then every hook that he threw was just so perfect. The form was there. And so, anyways, as it continued, Jairo felt that power, touched the canvas. As it moved on, it was like, I give credit to Jairo Lopez because even though he knew that Marcelino had more power than him and was damaging him, he still got up and tried to go toe-to-toe and try to take all the shots and still try to give him one. It was like, man.
Yeah, it was a great fight.
Till the end, he touched the canvas again, and then he said, no more.
I can't take it no more.
But you know what? Props to him. I just wish his corner would have stepped in, before, so that it takes away from the fighter, so that he doesn't have to do it. But I'm glad that he did. I'm glad he saved himself, and he gets to, like you always say, he gets to see another day. He gets to fight another day. That was a good fight. Credit to Marcelino. He came and he took his opportunity when it was presented to him, even with a week's worth notice. He went out there and made
him known who he was.
Yeah. So after that, we saw Ceniza Estrada versus Anabel Ortiz. Now, Anabel Ortiz is from Mexico and Ceniza's from LA. Ortiz was the reigning champ.
Correct.
At 105, she faces Estrada, and Estrada was able to
use her speed
to drop her in the second round. So yeah, aside from speed, she was able to show her that she did have power. Dropped her once. I thought it was going to end sooner because I saw that drop. But even though Ortiz was slower, she actually managed to have...
She was a great counterpuncher.
She was timing. So she knew that she didn't have the speed, but her timing was there. So credit to her. She went all 10 rounds. It was 10?
10 rounds.
All 10 rounds. And, congrats to Estrada.
She won it.
She won her first title.
But that champion, I'll give her credit. yeah, you knocked me down once and that's it. And here we go. You're not going to knock me out.
She stayed in it.
Stayed in it all the way through.
She started trying to like read her, move out of the way,
Connected a few times, connected showed her that she was tough.
Even though she went out, she did not win that fight. So
yeah,
there's no saying that it was some kind of robbery. No, she lost that fight fair and square. And congrats to Sinisa, who took that title.
Correct.
Moving on, Vergil Ortiz Jr., the main event versus Maurice Hooker. Maurice Hooker is 31. Vergil is 22. It's more like experience versus an up-and-coming fighter.
Yeah, the other guy wasn't no chump. He was the WBO champion of the world, Yeah. He was no champ. He only had one loss.
Yeah, I actually really like watching Vergil. I've always said this. Vergil Ortiz is like all about boxing is what I'm going to say. He's not fazed by the social media and this and that, which is why maybe some of you guys watching this might not have known who Vergil Ortiz is. He's not out there on social media getting blasted all over the TikTok, whatever. He's young, yes, but I see him as one of the fighters like we used to watch. And I'll tell you why at the end. But he put on a great performance. He went in there. I like his defense. He has defense and offense. He takes you the fight. He's aggressive. He has power. He's letting his hands go. But at the same time, his guard is up. He is moving. He's bobbing and weaving. What more could you want?
Yeah, he was doing good, but he was getting tagged too.
He was getting tagged.
Hooker was tagging him.
And Hooker did say that he was going to test this kid.
And he did test him.
He said he hasn't fought anyone like
Ortiz, his face, he's never been marked. And he was marked. He was feeling the punches.
Yeah.
For me, one time his bell got rung with the right hand. It really got him, but they were showing him that he rolled with the punch. It doesn't matter. He felt his power.
He definitely did feel it, but I did notice that he wasn't completely hurt. When they're hurt, and I always say this, their eyes roll back and then they come back. That didn't happen to Vergil. He took that punch, like you just said. He did feel it. He did feel that power, but he took it well. He was able to keep going. He immediately just kept the pressure on him too. He didn't fall back.
No, it was a good fight. They were going at it back and forth until the 6th round. There was 6 good rounds of fighting.
Yeah. And there was even one round where Hooker started really trying to defend his body.
Because he got hit
really defending it.
He got hit with a good body punch and took his hair out.
That's the thing too, is that Vergil is a very smart fighter. If he goes for the head and then he works the body, and that kid has power.
Yeah.
He has power. Hands. So in the end, he ended up stopping Hooker.
Hooker went down. He got hurt. He got injured. His right hand got injured. He couldn't continue, so he went down.
Yeah. But at the end in the interview, so first off, who else was in attendance?
The great champions, Errol Spence
and
Terrance
Jr.
Crawford.
Exactly. And so at the end, this is the same weight class. Vergil says, they ask him, do you want to fight Terrance Crawford? And Terrance Crawford is ringside. And what does he say? He's like, I see you, bud. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, I'm ready for the fight. Even though they asked him, do you feel like after this performance that you are ready for this fight? And I loved the response. It was not, let me think about it. I'm not sure. Let's see what my promoter says. Let's see what my manager says. It wasn't, I don't know. I'm still young. I still got a lot of time. I need to work a little bit more. No, it was, I don't really care if I'm ready for this fight. That's what I want. That's the fight I want. It's like,
bravo. Good answer.
Just because, like I said, this fly, man. That's what I said is like, the fighters back then, that's what we would see more. It wasn't about social media, that kind of thing. It was like Vergil Ortiz, I might be wrong, but from what I see right now is that he is a fighter.
Yeah.
If he said this was going to be his career, that's what I have seen. It's a boxing career that we have seen, like an OG boxing career.
Yeah.
He's saying, I want the next fight, because that's what you want. When you're young and you have that presented in your path, you're like, yes, jump on it. Yes, jump on it. And it's like, you have to train. You have to get yourself ready for this. But you don't want to push it and then possibly miss your opportunity.
Yeah, but...
And I know I'm not saying that he's completely ready for this Crawford fight.
No.
But I love the response.
Yeah. It was a great response.
He's not saying that he's ducking no one.
He's not like Crawford. He's not like Crawford ducking Errol Spence. Simple as that.
And the reason you say this is because if you missed it, they did ask Terrance Crawford, what about the fight with Errol Spence? And he said,
it ain't going to happen.
What did he say? He said it's past him or something like that?
Yeah, it's not going to happen. He won't fight him because he's scared of Errol Spence. Errol Spence will knock him out.
Whoa!
Because you'll see, Errol Spence doesn't play. If you avoid him and you insult him, he'll come ready for you.
Well, I hope that fight eventually happens, but as of right now, I don't see it in the near future. Credit to Vergil Ortiz. Put on a great performance. He was tested by Hooker by putting on, pressuring him, like you said, damaging Ortiz's face.
Ortiz, take a little bit more fights and then go fight Terrance Crawford. You'll beat him.
Whoa.
I think so. You'll beat him in a little bit because he's hungry, he's young, he'll take him. Compared to avoid Errol Spence for a little bit, as much as you can.
I would definitely agree with that right now.
Avoid.
I don't really see anyone beating Errol Spence right now.
No.
Mm-mm.
He proved it.
Yeah?
A lot.
So,
get ready. Lights out.